I'm just out here at Superbowl and we're gonna jump on for a little preview loop of the course for the upcoming first round of the New South Wales XCO State Series held here at Superbowl, hosted by SCUM. So, course is pretty awesome. It hasn't been fully raked in yet, but most of the main sections are good to go. So I'm gonna run through the course today because we've got a bit of wet weather potentially coming this week, and I might not get another chance to. And I'll talk you through where things might change, but it should mostly be pretty similar to what's gonna happen. So we're gonna start down the bottom of this fire trail here, and I'm gonna throw you on board and talk you through it. So we start off with a nice fire trail climb. So we're going to start down the bottom here. This is, if you know Superbowl, this is the fire trail that leads up to the backside of the trig point. So we're going to pedal up this. This is just for the first lap, or at least this bottom section is just for the first lap. We're going to pedal up. Bit rocky here. Definitely will warm the legs up nice and quick. We pedal all the way to the top, to this top trig point car park. Now in the race, we're gonna go out into the car park and kind of loop back on ourselves. And I'll point it out in a moment. We're gonna come out here into the clearing. The timing tent will be there. We'll probably come around and we're gonna head out on just the very first section of the blue track there, and there'll be a little fire trail section through the bush. That hasn't been raked in yet, so I'm just gonna go around the corner to where it's gonna connect onto. That section will come out somewhere just along here, over to my left, and we're gonna join on with this trail here to Python and roll down the hill. So it'll be open up with a decent little fire trail climb into a flowy descent. This will take us down to kind of the bottom of the course. Some nice flat corners here to navigate. Got to be pretty switched on. Pedaling along, bit of a flatter open section here. This might be a good spot during the race to take a drink if you need it, have some nutrition. There's lots of single track in this loop, so you're really gonna have to pick your points for drinking, nutrition. Come through there, there's kind of a split line, but over through the logs is the straightest and fastest option, I think. Now this trail just traverses its way down the slope with some kind of big, flattest, longer, kind of flat, slightly downhill sections, and then some turns that sweep back on themselves. And we just gradually make our way down the hill. Plenty of flat corners in this one to keep you on your toes. It's a real challenge to kind of carry as much speed as possible. Because even though this trail is trending downhill, it is a net elevation loss from the top there, as you'd expect. It does feel like there's still a fair bit of pedaling to do, so especially in a race, you want to be able to carry as much momentum as you can, conserve as much energy as you can. Conditions are pretty prime at the moment. There's been a few tyres out on the trail this afternoon because we've just finished up our FlowX event, which was awesome. If you weren't here, you missed out. Make sure you jump on and check the SCUM calendar for when the next FlowX event is. So lots of turns, winding back on each other. We're making our way down towards the bottom. Ooh. Few soft spots. to be mindful of. All right, now we're down at the bottom intersection of a few of our trails. So we're gonna come out here and loop back around to the left and back up the hill. So we'll come out here, not exactly sure how this turn will look, but something like that, and we're gonna head back up on what is the first section of Air You Going, or their climb, sorry, back up past the jumps trail. Stay to the left here on the up track. And then we're gonna duck to the left here. This will be cleaned up for the race, be raked out, and then we're back onto the climb back up the hill. So the trend for this course is kind of up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Little bridge roller here. There is a line over to my right there that's just like a smaller roller over that log as well. But now we're just making our way pretty much all the way back up to that trig point where we started our first descent. So this is a pretty punchy little climb, a few little steeper sections here, and then flattens out a little and then kicks up again at the top. So you're going to be working to carry your momentum all the way. I'm also sorry if it's a little dark on camera. Hopefully there's enough light that it's visible. So come out here, a bit more of an open section. We're almost back up towards the top. And our last little bit of climbing. Whew. I'm definitely working hard. Now at the moment there's sticks across this trail, but we're going to connect straight across. There obviously won't be sticks when we're racing, and jump into another descent. This one's kind of the high speed, really flowy descent for this course. Some awesome berms, some little doubles down the bottom here, as you'll see. So you can really carry some good speed, get a bit of respite in, have a bit of fun. Woo! Pump down through here. These jumps are pretty short, so you want to stay low if you can. Pump through the berms. Oh yeah! Maybe don't go that deep. You can really rail the berms down here. So this descent is jumping jack. Awesome green flow descent. Pretty epic to have in a XCO loop. Then at the bottom here, we're going to head out to the left, cross straight across the fire trail here into this little new section that's been raked in, and then onto the trail snakes and ladders. So this next section has some windy, flat turns where it's quite hard to hit the right lines and carry speed. So brake control is super important here. It's awesome conditions at the moment, so there's lots of grip, but often those corners are pretty loose, so you got to be on your toes. Ew. A little uphill punch here. Try and sprint this one. Don't know how many laps I'll be able to sprint that one. Another little descent. Woo! Lots of flat corners to keep you focused if you want to carry speed and stay upright. Oh, and it is beautiful down here. golden hour. A few little bridges. So we're just about to finish the snakes portion of snakes and ladders, which is the descending section. And then we're going to get into the ladders side, which is the mainly uphill climb. So we're kicking up into that now. So we've got a nice solid climb ahead of us. Plenty of switchbacks to get us to the top of this hill. I'm chasing down Josh and Matt, who are also out checking out the course. Oh wow, and the light has just absolutely turned it on. It is beautiful. Probably not gonna be able to see it on the GoPro, but just the sun rays through the trees. Wow, what a day. So if you happen to do the Willow a couple of months ago, this climb was featured in that. It's pretty steady gradient most of the way up, not too long, and lots of switchbacks to kind of even it out. But there's definitely going to be a good amount of climbing in this course. So take this as a pre-warning. Depending on when I post this video, you've got a little bit of time to put in a bit of extra climbing prep. Get those climbing legs dialed. But of course, as it always goes, there's a bit of climbing, but that also means there's a good amount of descending. But there's not much flat. It's mostly up or down. And some proper XC tech and flow. So I think it's going to be, wow, how's the light? I think it's going to be an awesome race course. So we're nearing the top of the climb now. Coming up is another section that's going to be a bit different on the actual race. There's going to be probably a new section of single track raked in. We're just going to ride up and straight through the car park, but in the actual race there'll probably be a bit of single track over to my right here that's going to head around the car park and join us into our next single track section. Woo! It's good, it's great. So that single track section is going to probably jump in the bush somewhere here, and it's going to join on to a trail just over there that you can see through the trees called the Thing. The boys are jumping on it over there. I'm just skipping that section for now and joining in a bit higher, but in the actual race you'll get a bonus climb up here. As you can see, Matt coming up, some techie uphill rock rides. So that'll be an awesome section, but that connector bit of single track hasn't been raked in just yet. So a few rocky sections. Nice. So some more punchy power required there, although there are options to ride round as well. Now we're riding what's the trail called the Thing, but we're riding in reverse. So pretty techie here. There's a tight inside. Josh just took the outside there. Some loose rocks, so you've got to be mindful of that one. So for anyone who's ridden the SCUM FlowX event before, you might know this trail's a bit notorious for that little pinch uphill corner that we just rode in the downhill direction. But although we got to ride that in the downhill direction, we now get the joy of riding this section in the uphill. So there's some pretty steep little switchbacks here, where you're gonna have to keep the power down to keep your momentum rolling. We're traversing along the hill. Whoop. High speed section. Another little steep pinch here. Don't take the line that I just took. Stay to the left there would be my recommendation. Up and around the outside here. You can go left where Josh went there, high line, or you can stay low to the right like that. There's left or inside there as well. A few little split lines. Final little push to the top of the hill. Back up to the trig for what is the third time on this loop. Woo! Oh boy. What do you reckon?
Brutal.
Brutal, but good. This is what it's all about. And now we're into our little descent on the back side of the trig. Some more flat corners to contend with here, but this one flows pretty well. And once there's a few more wheels on it, there'll probably be a little less leaf litter. Oh yeah, tip that bike over and just flow down the hill. Woo. Oh, I've overshot that one a bit. And then we continue around past the bottom car park down here. We roll onto this next side. See you fellas. Now we're kind of climbing back up again, back towards the trig point, but we're kind of wrapping around the back of the hill rather than going straight up it. On a nice kind of, even though it is uphill, it flows relatively well. So this will be kind of the closing stages of each lap. Oh, stay to the right there. Don't go left like I almost did. Down through here. This is an awesome little section. A little bit off camber, a few little log rolls. That might be a little sketchy if it's wet, but you can hop up and over. Then we're going to pop out down the bottom here, kind of halfway up that fire trail we started on, and now we head up the hill, and this will be the last section of the lap. So if you've got any berries on the final lap, this is where you'll be putting down your sprint up the hill, and the start finish will be up here in the car park, like I said, with that little loop back around using a new connector that hasn't been finished yet, and you'll head back out onto your lap out that way. All right, bit of a rough early preview of the course for the upcoming State Series, first opening round of the XCO State Series here at Superbowl in Nowra on the south coast. And yeah, that's on the 1st of June. So in, well, depending on when I post this, it could be in a couple of weeks, 1 week, couple of days. But make sure you get your entries in and come on out. Hosted by SCUM, so come and support the local club out here. They've put in an awesome effort to maintain the trails at Superbowl. If you haven't ridden here before, it's pretty amazing, and it's sure to be a great event. And hopefully you enjoyed that course preview and you enjoyed what you have in store. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be pretty awesome. It's a proper XCO track. Plenty of climbing, plenty of descending, Everyone's going to be working hard, which is great. And there'll be a challenge regardless of your level. So looking forward to it. Make sure to jump on and get your entries in. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for watching.